Okay guys, so the contractor just left. We talked about a few things in the kitchen here. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna take out the soffits that hang above the cabinets, the old cabinets. It's got those ones, and then you got these ones on this side. So we're gonna take those out today, and then Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday.
Wednesday they're gonna come in, the electrician's gonna come in, and he's going to put in outlets above where the new cabinets are going to go. And then he's also gonna put in, yeah, right here, the range. He's gonna put in the outlet for the range so that that's ready to go. See what else.
So he's gonna put the cans in. He's gonna cut the holes for the cans and the pendant lights in the ceiling, and probably take out this old fan light.
Yeah. What we got going on right now is we're gonna rip the soffits out, like I said, but what we went ahead and did already is we took out the refrigerator, we took out the stove, we put them over there, taped them off. We taped off all the areas of the house except for this kitchen. Taped off the door, taped off the hallway to the rest of the house. We even went in here and we taped off the new laundry room area so there is no plaster dust all over everything. So,
and we got our respirator masks.
Obviously, we want to be safe. But, so I'm just going to show you a couple things, what the soffits look like, what we're getting into. So these are the soffits. They were built with 2x4s, and they're just connected to the ceiling and the wall there, just like that. So you got plaster on top of 2x4s, and basically nothing else back in there. You know, if you're taking out soffits, you want to make sure there's no electrical that's run inside the soffit. For example, on this side, we have a light that's above the old sink. When we take out this soffit, we're gonna have to be really careful that we are not hitting the wires up above. So I have a skill saw. What we're gonna do to take the soffits out and kind of cut into the plaster is we're gonna take this skill saw. It's got a diamond cutting blade on it. This blade's really pricey from the hardware store. I'll give you guys a link to it, but this thing will cut tile, it'll cut plaster. I mean, basically just, it cuts through things that normal blades wouldn't, so very handy to have, and it should chew through these plaster walls no problem. We're gonna go through, cut straight lines along the edges up above. That way, once we have our lines cut in there, we can just basically rip it out with a pry bar. So that's what we're gonna be doing, and we'll throw you guys on time lapse and get back to you guys in just a bit. Alright guys, we finished the soffits and it was exhausting. So in the beginning I used the skill saw to kind of cut into the plaster walls, and shortly after cutting into the walls I noticed it was making sparks. I think from actually the blade hitting these wire this wire netting that's in the walls here. For our walls, we don't have insulation in our walls, and I knew that when I started. So I used the skill saw to go through and cut just the bottom of the soffits, both on this side of the kitchen and on that side of the kitchen. But when it came to the ceilings, I ended up using a masonry chisel, one like this, and a hammer. And the reason I did it that way is because if I would have used a skill saw on the ceiling, I would have had to worry about lighting the insulation on fire with all the sparks that the skill saw made. So, I mean, even if you are going into just the wall, even without insulation, it's still a very big possibility that you can start a fire with the sparks that you're making from the skill saw. So shortly after starting, I ended up just going with the chisel because I didn't want to light my house on fire. So if you're removing plaster walls or plaster soffits and you're thinking about using a skill saw to do it, I highly recommend you look inside the wall to see if you have insulation. Or just go with the manual labor part. That's what I did. It's a lot harder, but it works just the same. Also, another negative to using the skill saw, besides lighting your house on fire, is it leaves a ton of dust, obviously. So if you're looking all over the place, Katie has already mopped this once before. She's already mopped this whole place, this whole kitchen once already. And there's still a really thick layer of dust all over the place. We're going to be mopping at least 3 or 4 times. This hallway was actually all taped off and it still got dust in there. So if you plan to use a skill saw, keep in mind it's going to get dust all over the place. But yeah, other than some mopping and some cleaning up, we've pretty much finished the kitchen. You got anything to add?
It's exhausting.
Yeah. Pretty exhausted this weekend. That's gonna wrap it up for us, guys. Thank you for watching this video.
Bye.